And welcome to the Valley Preferred Cycling Center, the UCI Festival of Speed. Jim Kripke along with Gary Blockus. And there you see some of the fans dropping in tonight to catch the racing here in T-Town. And Gary, this is a good one. They're starting to pile up points in the UCI events.
In the UCI events and in the Rider of the Year events. And tonight's going to be pretty exciting because we've got the men's Omnium going on for the UCI. We've got the men's Kieran going on for the UCI. And we've also got the women's sprint, which is first up for the UCI. We're going to be going into the semifinals pretty soon with our hometown favorite, Mandy Marquardt, serving as the fastest qualifier in this morning's rounds.
And you're talking about the Festival of Speed, kind of mirrors the Olympics this morning. The 50-meter, that's in the pool and out of the pool. Those guys and gals get in and out of there. And Gabe Castano from Penn State and from the Lehigh Valley was swimming for Mexico. And I understand, I don't know if you remember him or know the name, he had kind of started out as a cyclist here in T-Town.
I did not know that, actually. That's a great tie-in, though, for sure. The Olympics it's just been a fantastic happening so far. We're looking forward to the track cycling starting this week.
And of course, Gabe unfortunately did not make, that 50. He did qualify in the top 16 for the semis, but posted a good time, I believe, to get in somewhere around 22 seconds, 22.3, which I'm not sure I could walk through the pool or get thrown across the pool in 22.3. So we have our first race. It is the ladies getting ready to hit the track. Mandy Marquardt, Nicole Joanne, Rodriguez Hutchin, Sarah Orban, and Jackie Boyle.
In the qualifying this morning, Mandy Marquardt, she qualified first with an 11.243 in the 200 meters. Sarah Orban, who's in the other semifinal from Canada against her countrywoman Jackie Boyle. Sarah qualified at 11.373, so that's 0.13 seconds difference. So that's pretty good. It's going to come down to a tactical race if those two get into the finals. Jackie Boyle, meanwhile, she qualified third with 11.467. And then Rodriguez Hatchin, she qualified fourth at 11.555. So all four of these women deserve to be where they're at right now. They were the four top qualifiers this morning, and they all made it through the rounds to get here.
And Gary, what differences can we see with cyclists running in the morning as opposed to the afternoon? Now, it wasn't too bad, a little overcast this morning. Does the weather impact speeds and times at all?
Well, the wind will impact speeds and times, and right now the flags are pretty violently flapping on the back straight there, so we know it is windy down there. I was down earlier, and we were saying it's not a good time type of day for the cyclists. Earlier today, in the morning rounds, it was quite less windy. There was hardly any wind at all, although it was pretty humid before the winds came out to clear out that humidity. So the air was thick, so that's also difficult to deal with.
So you have Marquardt is number 917.
She's wearing the Stars and Stripes jersey of the national championship that she won last week.
And Rodriguez Hutchin is 938.
And Rodriguez Hutchin, she got the ball to say she's got to lead this first lap, so she's going to be looking at Miss Marquardt right at the top of the track. Marquardt's been so determined since she didn't make that U.S. Olympic team. She's really showing what she's got here, kind of showing Team USA that they missed out on including her in the team for Tokyo. Now she's doing a little bit of maneuvering behind. It's always interesting to watch that, going up and down the track, kind of snaking behind, really making Rodriguez Hakohen look, trying to match her. Here we have the bell lap. Rodriguez Hakohen trying to take off. Marquardt not really pushing herself too hard. Now we're going into the back straight, and you're going to see her accelerate. You just see that power that Mandy Marquardt has. She's not even trying to drop down. She's willing to take that top farther distance. She'll easily win that first ride. This is best of 3 rides, 2 out of 3. If you win in 2 straight, we call it straight rides. So Marquardt, the victor.
Now, what can Hakohen do? We talk about in sports for the next ride. Here you're going to see Mandy just stays in that upper lane.
Yeah, she's not even worried about the difference in speeds. Rodriguez Hacohen qualified almost more than 3/10 of a second behind her, so she knows she's got the speed. Hacohen's got to kind of do some tactical maneuvering to knock Mandy off her line in order to neutralize that speed deficit.
So we have now Orbit. She's going to be wearing bib number 925. Boyle will be wearing 920 from Toronto. Two Canadians.
And unfortunately,
Toronto two Canadians, and Calgary.
Both wearing black, both wearing white shoes, both wearing black helmets. So going to try and pick up the numbers here as best we can, both on red bikes.
I'm picking up a little Chicago Bears look out there, actually out there now that the football training camps have gotten underway.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing about Orban is she is the alternate for the Canadian Olympic team. So much like Marquardt, she's back here, she's at the UCI races, and she's got something to prove. You know, she wants to show Canada, you made a mistake not taking me.
We'll take her right out here in the Valley Preferred. She can come here and race in front of our fans anytime.
The uniforms are matching, the helmets are just about matching. I can't tell if that's a glare or a stripe.
I said Chicago Bears, a little Spider-Man in those sleeves. Look at that, it looks pretty slick.
Yeah, it was a little Scottish tartan pattern there.
There you go.
Plaid. Off the wall.
Look, they're gonna fool us, Gary. They're starting out with a track stand.
So Orban, we're going with 25, right at 25. She is. These two girls know each other quite well from sprinting and training together. Orban, number 25. Boyle, number 20. And they know each other's tactics very well. I think you're going to see a nice clean sprint in this. We're going to try maybe one big tactical maneuver before we go to the sprint. But I think this is just going to be take each other on. And here we have the drop down. Whoop.
The men are on deck as Orban and Boyle tactically get set to go.
Have the bell. We have Orban leading this at the start at the bell, looking over her shoulder, trying to see what's going to come from behind. Boyle's trying to accelerate. She's out of the saddle. Now Orban matches her out of the saddle. Boyle just about dropped in the saddle in the turn, but it's not going to be enough, I don't believe. And Orban is just going to cruise to that win.
Orban takes the win. I think if I got it there, I think Orban's wearing black socks. So next race, we're ready to go. And people think I'm not paying attention to detail. Good win by Sarah Orban. She picks up race number 1. Now we're going to move to the next here. We'll look, Gary, at the finish.
She's just looking behind her. She knows she's got the speed to beat her. She's just going to power out of the saddle into turn 3. Bears down, stays low in the sprinter's lane. Elbows out to try and block any path coming up tight. And an easy, not an easy victory, but a
victory.
Win. Yes, exactly.
Now we'll go to the men's Kieran. This will be 5 laps here in heat number 1. We're getting used to that word, heat number 1. Heat number 2. You're seeing it on TV all the time with the Olympics. Here in heat number 1, we have Ryan Dodick, Thomas Quinn. We have Canelone Vera, Harrison Goodell, Canelone Vera, Jael Sidney, James Hedgecock, and Dylan Gonzalez.
And again, we've got Canadians and Americans in this one. And the next heat we'll have a Mexican rider as well. We've got some Guatemalans here. We've got Venezuelans here. So the international field is really starting to come together for these races now.
And closest rider to the Valley here is Thomas Quinn from Royersford, PA.
Well, actually, yeah, in this heat.
Yep, next heat we got a McCunchy. Geneway tags in
yes.
There, McCunchy.
We're all getting lined up here. They've all picked their spots. They stick their hand in a bag, pick a ball that gives them their spot number.
And the winning lottery numbers for tomorrow. The winning Powerball for tomorrow.
I wish I had that.
All right, no, that'd be nice. I think that would be a long line down there if you were picking winning numbers. Again, this is heat number 1. The top 3 riders will advance to the final.
That's Jill and Sydney, I believe, on the bottom.
And the other 3 will move to what we call the minor final. Major final will be racing for first place, 6th place overall. Minor final 7 and 12.
You got the gun. You're going to go behind the motorcycle for 2.5 laps before it pulls off. And we'll see all kinds of sprinting action afterwards.
Keeping things moving along here. I like over the last couple of weeks the riders have been getting ready instead of kind of waiting and then getting themselves ready to go on the track.
Well, this is
good.
It's very formatted program with the UCI racing, so they've got to do things quickly in order. They can't be holding the rest of the program up. It's a little bit more discipline to it.
And the cycle will pick up speed going around the track. It will reach approximately 40 miles an hour before diving off there or so.
That's Dylan Gonzalez, rider 242, be right behind the motor. Very comfortable position there because you have to do the least amount of work. You've got motorbike creating a nice little wake there, so it's a nice, easy ride. You just have to be aware of what's going on behind you. If you're the fastest man there and you wanted to be there, when the motorbike pulls off, you're going to go.
And he's wearing a little Service Electric, favoring some Service Electric colors out there. The nice gold wheel and the purple bike. That's
Here we have
nice.
Tom Quinn. The bike pulls off, and Tom Quinn from Edge Cycling, I believe that is, jumps over the top.
There he goes. They've got 2 laps to go. Tom Quinn takes a peek back over his right shoulder. They cross the start-finish line.
Well, excuse me, it is Tom Quinn, and he's looking behind his shoulder. Now we got someone accelerating over the top of him. That's rider 50, James Hedgecock from Ontario, from Canada, and he looks to be holding on to this lead. We're at the bell. This is where it's going to get tricky. Here comes Quinn again. He was kind of, maybe he was playing possum there, content to sit back. But now Hedgecock again accelerates, and he's being out sprinted.
That's a Doddick.
So that's Ryan Doddick with a huge acceleration off the back straight.
Wow, that's 3 riders who didn't lead that out at all.
And that was
taking
Doddick
the top 3.
with the win.
Yep, Doddick.
So that was just some incredible racing there. Good speed. Everybody's measuring each other up, the tactics. There you see the leads changing. Here's the acceleration there with Doddick again. And just look at this going. The guys in the back 4 now. You see them coming. This is just tremendous racing. This is tremendous confidence. And Doddick just able to get that lead and hold it off. Caught everybody by surprise with that little jump there and held through.
They'll do a little cool down. We'll get set for Heat 2. Jean Wei Tang is number 225. Evan Boone is number 30. Andrew Chow, 314. Christopher Heineman, 37. Roberto Serrano Plowels is 54. And Andrew Scott is number 45.
So again, another truly international heat with Serrano Plowels from Mexico. We've got Scott from Canada, Heineman from Canada, and Tang, Chu, and Boone, all from the United States. Tang being the local rider from Makunji.
And Gary, I don't know. I was looking over the material. It seems like this year, either that or I didn't notice it years past, there seems to be a little bigger contingent from New York right now. Is that something happening up there that they're developing more riders?
I don't know. I've noticed that too, and it's a good thing. Maybe it's when you see some of the towns from up there, Flushing, New York. Maybe track cycling's hit the inner cities. There used to be in Philly a after dark track inside arena halls and stuff, inside track racing, and it was just wild. So maybe some of that is picking up in New York. I don't know. Or bike messengers who ride the same type of track bike with no brakes and just a fixed gear, fixies as we call them. They're just they're enjoying it and putting their talents to use. It is good to see, though. And we're off. And again, we've got 2 Edge cycling riders in this heat, Jinwei Tang and Andrew Chu. So we'll see if there's some teamwork going to come out of this.
I wonder if you have to pick a Mets or a Yankees fan if they're going to come down. Well, if we start seeing pinstripe bikes, then that might be over the top.
Well, the Flyers used to sponsor some cycling back in the day. This is rider 45 leading right now. That's Andrew Scott from Oakville, Ontario. He does have the motor.
It's good to see the Canadian riders back. And hopefully next summer again, the Aussies are going to come back maybe for a little bit of the summer ride.
New Zealanders.
And the New Zealanders, right?
Right. Again, with the Olympic year, it's kind of thrown everything out of kilter. All right, go. Tang moving up. He didn't want to be penned in anymore.
Cycle should go off. There it goes.
Oh, just barely. Let's see. I didn't see any official raise.
Looks like Jinwei Tang, Gary. He called it. Looks like he's in the front, leading it out with 2 to go.
Looking behind him right now is Andrew Chu.
Andrew Chu now.
He's going to maybe do a lead out for Tang.
Here comes somebody over the top.
Got acceleration over the top, and that is a huge acceleration.
That's Boone.
That is Mr. Boone. Evan Boone. Now remember, it's not about winning this one. It's being in the top 3.
Looks like Evan Boone, and then it's a Jinwei Tang. And Chow. Andrew Scott, an independent.
Okay, there we go. So it's the top 3. Here we come. And it was Tang with an easy win, just holding on there.
Yep. Serrano Plowell snuck in.
Oh, they're great for the
and Evan Boone was in 3rd.
So Boone 3rd, Serrano Powell 2nd, and Tang 1st. And just look at this national champion there trying to get through in the Stars and Stripes jersey. Can't do it. He'll come in 3rd. But you see Tang, he kind of we call it hit the brakes. He kind of slowed his pedaling down because he knew he had that one and he wanted to save something for the next round.
Now we go to the women. Come back on the track. This is a elimination. So we're going to watch the back of the pack to start, so to speak.
Yes, we will.
In this field, 9:13, Kim Zubris. 9:18 is Aaron Atwell. 9:22 is Devaney Collier. 9:29, Sarah Van Dam. 9:33, Claire Cameron. 2:26 is Vanessa Romano.
And this would be a good one up at the top. We've got Nicole Joanne Rodriguez-Sacon, who was just in that semifinal in the women's sprint. Skylar Espinosa from California, Alexi Costa from South Carolina, Nagari Baraclaw from Vancouver, Lily Plant from Quebec, Ruby West from Ontario, and Jessica Bonilla Escapita from Juarez, Mexico. And I was actually across from Juarez last summer visiting my son in the military in El Paso.
Nice. And you notice the way I threw you the hard-slated names there?
Oh, not so hard.
You got through it, no problem.
But we
Now, is there an advantage, Gary, to starting? I mean, obviously there could be an individual interest in being up top. Although it looks like that they put them all up top. Again, fooled us.
Maybe nobody wanted to be on the bottom. I would prefer to start at the top, but it's just a little bit easier for you. It doesn't require anybody to hold you. And it's a small enough field, I guess they decided to put them all up there.
And for me, it's nice because if I were there and up top, I could just turn right and go into the infield. Save me a step because I would have to go around if you were down on the blue band.
Yeah, exactly.
And here they go. They'll get a lap to sort everything out. And remember, folks, I want to tell our regular viewers, our new viewers, you're watching the back of the pack in this elimination race because they start to call riders out. Yes.
And we've got the guns, so the race is live. Next lap around, the last rider across the line is eliminated.
And there's always a little sneak in there who likes to pick people off. They wait till that last second they can shoot across the line.
Which it could be a very fun tactic when there's not a lot on the line, but this in a race like this, you kind of want to make sure you're trying to pick up points for your country.
Ruby West leading it out. Let's see who gets. That was interesting.
Rider 30, that was Ruby West eliminated.
So her
Her
riding is setting in the West for this race.
Now we've got the pack coming around.
There we go.
Coming out of 4. The leaders. There's a baby fawn in the back.
Atwell.
Aaron Atwell from Victoria, British Columbia. So 2 Canadians bite the dust on the first 2 laps.
Hey, that sounds like the
Zubrus
start
now
of
in
a
the
song.
back of the pack.
Sounds like the start of a song. Canadians bite the dust.
Zubrus in the back of the pack. Now she's accelerating. And I don't think she was trying to play a game. I think maybe she's trying to do a mental count there or something. Could not tell.
Wait, we got our spotter. They think it's Lily Plant.
She went up. Okay. It is.
Yep.
Lily Plant. Jacques Plant's namesake.
One week I want to catch her before a race and ask if she's related. But I'm sure there's a lot of Plants up in Canada.
They're great, Jacques Plant. Rider 237. Skylar Espinosa.
Skylar Espinosa gone. Was Jacques Plant the first flopper? There's something. I'm not sure if he's the first to wear a mask. I'd have to go look back.
Yeah, they were. I forget my goalie history.
I think he was the first to wear a mask, to be honest, if I had to put money on it.
Another acceleration from the back of the pack.
Ooh.
Rider 226.
Romano.
So Vanessa Romano
is
from
out.
Allentown, riding for Philly Bike Expo, powered by Velaquan. And Zubrus again playing in the back of the pack. She's having some fun out there. This is what we call double take the hindmost. She's last. Is she going to accelerate over the top so she doesn't get eliminated? Yes. She pips rider 37. That is
Cruz Hinojosa. So Cruz Hinojosa out. Now she's Zubrus. Not
Again,
quite
playing-
as far back though as she was last time.
No, but she is playing the devil at the back of the pack for sure. And she's got to sprint forward now. She wants to. I don't think she's going to make it in time. No, she's eliminated. Kim Zubrus out.
She's having a little fun.
Yes, she was. I don't think she anticipated exactly how fast they were going there.
Here comes somebody over the top that does not want to get caught like Kim Zubrus in the last lap.
And we see the pack starting to accelerate a little bit. They're trying to drop the weak ones. That'll be rider 33 eliminated. That is Claire Cameron from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Claire Cameron will take a seat.
We're down to the final 6 riders here.
And they'll go down to 3 and then sprint it out.
Although last week we saw a little different unfold, so.
Could be anything.
Ooh, is that rider 16 or Alexi Costa? It was close.
Oh, 32, Collier.
32, Devaney Collier.
Collier, number 22, pardon me, not 32.
So that was a little time to call that out because even the judges had a hard time. So we're down to 4. acceleration here at the end. There goes rider 16.
That's Costa.
There's Alexa Costa. She's, I thought she was going to be the one last lap. She got it this lap.
And I don't see the lap counter on
We're down
again,
to 3, so this is going to go to the end. 1, 2, 2.
Sarah Van Dam, Jessica Bonilla Escapante, and Najiri Barclow left. But if it's like last week, somebody's going to get bumped again.
And that is rider 34 bump. That is Jessica Bonilla Escapite.
She is gone, and now these two, I think they'll get the bell, and we'll get the winner of the race. Or this could be the winner of the race. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
I know. I think last week the protest was about there was no bell to signal the final lap. Rider 19.
So that would be Baraclaw. Jiri Baraclaw.
With the victory.
So no bell lap. No, they hope. Although these guys don't look as upset as they were last week.
No, yeah, I think everything was explained. I think that's what the problem was. So we're no longer just going down to the final 3 riders, but they all get 3, 2, 1 for their placing, but they still eliminate each other on successive laps.
So here come the elite women's sprint, ride number 2, semifinal. So this should be Marquardt and Rodriguez, Hacohen, and Orban and Boyle.
Rodriguez's Hacohen is doing the gamut of races here.
She's filling out her ride card pretty quick. But it's all short runs.
That's true. That's true. And that last being an elimination race, that could have just warmed her up enough. So Marquardt's down, sitting in the infield. Now this race, Marquardt will be required to lead out this first lap of the sprint.
Because she won the first?
No, because she was the top rider.
Rider last time. Okay, so that has to do with winning.
Right.
So
they
they
switch
alternate
positions on track.
Yeah. Is that a little bit like wrestling? Oh, did you ref wrestling? Did you get
I didn't
down?
ref it, but I followed it forever. Yeah.
I think isn't it the wrestler in the second period who's on top is bottom on the third?
Well, they
period?
get choice. Now it's choice.
Okay, they changed it.
Right. So you can also choose neutral now too. So.
Oh, you can both stand up.
Yep. It's up to the wrestler who has the choice.
These wrestlers today are soft.
I'd never say that.
Just kidding. I don't want Service Electric phones going off the hook on Monday. I wrestled for 4 years, so I know what it's about.
It's a tough sport.
Yes,
the best thing about the sport is it teaches you that loss happens in life, like a lot, and it's how you respond to that loss. Do you let it kill you? Do you quit, or do you come back, try harder, try to do what it takes to win? I think that it really is a life lesson for a lot of kids, for a lot of adults, and the quicker they look at it as such, the better off the kids are going to be.
And you're rarely going to go through a wrestling career, junior high school, and not lose a match somewhere along the line.
Exactly.
So here they go, Marquardt in a little bit of a catbird position because she can turn it on at any given moment.
She's just looking back. She just wants to make sure that if Rodriguez Hacohen makes an early move, she's going to match it. Mandy is also the U.S. 500-meter champion, so she's at pretty much 500 meters now. So if Rodriguez Hacohen wanted to make it a long sprint, Marquardt could do it. Marquardt's already turning it on. Hacohen got out of the saddle early, and Marquardt got out and matched her. She wasn't going to let it come down to that. And now Hacohen's really picking up some speed here. Marquardt's just bearing down, just staying low. She comes up a little bit high in the red line in the turn.
Now maybe Marquardt looked like she kind of stepped off the gas a little there on the backstretch.
She did.
Turn 3.
I don't think she knew she didn't need to push herself to her fullest extent. And whichever Canadian she gets in the final, Sarah Orban or Jackie Boyle, which will be decided in this next heat, she's going to need that speed for them, need that strength, need that sprinter's endurance, as they say.
And a great run here. Take a look here.
And just Marquardt there, just taking it easy. Looking back, see, she looked back and said, oh boy, she's coming close. She's going a little bit high into red, and I think that's in case there's a move over the top, so she can control that a little bit, but she was not pressed in that heat.
So now we'll see which Canadian is going to go up against Marquardt. It's either going to be Orban or Boyle. Sarah Orban is 9:25, and Jackie Boyle 9:20.
And Orban, again, she won the first ride. She has the white socks on.
I think it was white socks. No, she went a full. Maybe she went.
No.
She went in.
Orban has the black socks.
Okay.
So you can watch. It's almost identical kits. Black socks plus that little stripe on the helmet. I thought that was a glare before, but that is actual stripe on the helmet.
It's 2 stripes. She might be a corporal.
Holders push him off. Orban will have to lead his first lap. Again, she's a faster qualifier than Boyle. Orban rode 11.373 in the time trial this morning. Boyle rode 11.467, so it's almost a full tenth of a second faster, which can be isn't all that much really.
There they go.
Orban
Down the back stretch, they'll get the bell.
content to ride low. Watching her teammate again. These two train together, race together. Now you see Boyle picking it up, throwing it around the track a little bit. Boyle to the first one to accelerate. She's high in the track, so she's got a longer way to go. Orban comes up to meet her. Let's see if they can switch positions. No. Orban's holding it off. Pretty much is going high again, trying to keep her out of that sprinter's lane, trying to make sure she can match that speed. And Orban just accelerates through the line. So again, straight rides win by Sarah Orban over Canadian teammate Jackie Boyle, and the Canadian alternate to the Olympics will be in the sprint semifinals at the Festival of Speed here in Truxertown.
So there you see 2 close Olympians right here in T-Town. Marquardt and Orban will square off against each other in the final.
You can see it going here. Orban just looking back to Boyle, saying like, nah, I know what you can do, but you know what I can do, and here I go. She comes out of that sprinter's lane just a little bit. She wanted to make sure she could match any type of acceleration that Boyle was going to give her. And it was just an easy win. She didn't even try to throw the bike at the end. Like, you'll see a lot of sprinters in particular will try to throw that bike at the end because it's good practice for the form they're going to need in case it is that close, which we saw last week in the men's sprints.
We just saw a great shot of the surrounding area here in T-Town of the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. There it is. Good look at the infield, the softball field, over turn 3. Nice clear night. You can see the flags kind of kicking up a little bit across the way. A little less right now than they were at the start. I want to thank our cameramen here tonight, Alex Hazard, Jake Livey, Joe Malakovitz, Rocco Maffa, and Parm Long, bringing you all these great shots. I love when they get that shot coming down the backstretch, turn 4. We also get some great shots of riders heading past turn 4 into the start-finish line. Now the men are coming out for an elimination race.
This is the Omnium. This is the 3rd event in the 4-event Omnium from today. Earlier action today, we had Juan Esteban Arango Carval winning the tempo race. We had Dakota Stein winning the men's scratch race. But despite that, I do believe John Kroom is leading the overall standings. He placed 2nd in both races. So Kroom is leading the standings going into this men's elimination race. Kroom has 38 points overall, followed by Edwin Sutherland from Team Stoley with 36, Jamal Eastman with 34, Matthias Guillemets with 28, Nate Roberts with 22, Jackson Kinneberg with 30, and so it goes.
And in our field tonight, Edwin Sutherland, Matthias Guillemets, Dakota Stein, Jackson Kinneberg, Keely Campbell, Tristan Vanderfield, Ryan Jastrab, Robert Mayfield, Rafael Alberto Ramos Vargas.
And starting on the railing, we have John Kroom, the leader right now, Jamal Eastman, whose wife gave birth to a baby girl when he arrived here in Drexlertown. So congratulations, Mr. Eastman. Nathan Roberts, Daniel Brewer, Juan Esteban Arango Caraval, Clever Jose Martinez Moros. He's from Bayside, New York, by the way. Ethan Ogrodnichuk from Vancouver, Michael Miller, Danielle Matthews, and Cesar Alberto Marte Arreyes, also from Brooklyn, New York.
A little of the contingent of those New York riders I spoke about earlier that have come out this season. It's great to see them here.
It really is, and already it's a men's elimination race, but they've already got some some little sprinting at the front before the race even starts. Guess you want to set your position early.
And that was, talk about a great camera shot. 10 riders across the track there. It looked like 22 at 5:30 at night.
There's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse coming at you.
That was the
10 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Save that footage for a Harry Potter movie. And they do a little CGI, you know, dress them up.
Exactly.
Who's getting caught? Oh, that's an interesting one.
Ooh, that was really tight.
Miller. Michael Miller.
Gone but not forgotten, Mr. Miller.
He wanted to get his name announced first. I think that's what it was.
John Kroom there wearing the Stars and Stripes jersey, the U.S. national champion. Won 3 national titles last week. Proud of those titles, proud of those Stars and Stripes jerseys. Kroom at the front of the pack. British rider 14 eliminated that time.
Robert Mayfield.
Bobby Mayfield.
They didn't tell us. They're going in numerical order, Gary, to be eliminated. So this should be rider 15.
I think it's an 18 or no 17 is next. That'll be Mr. Kroom. So.
Oh no, he ain't going. Nope.
Nope.
He's not going.
He's still
He's
at the
not
front of
going
the pack.
down. He's not going down. So he's going to change.
We had an acceleration there from rider 31, Daniel Brewer, but I don't think he made it.
Yep, Daniel Brewer, our spotter. Nick Altieri saying it's Brewer.
So we've got Miller, Mayfield, and Brewer all out now.
The Brewers out early, so drinks tonight after racing, folks.
There is an acceleration in the back from the rider in the lime green. Can he make it? He does. He eliminates rider number 18. That is Nate Roberts.
Nathan Roberts did not get the script for tonight's race.
So rider in the lime green is back again, playing devil at the back of the pack. Doesn't want to stay there.
Is he number 19, Danielle Matthews?
It could be Danielle Matthews.
Well, let's see.
No, it's rider 53.
Oh.
That is Ramos Vargas, but I believe it was
Cesar Alberto Marte Arias.
So he got his own teammate, nipped his own teammate at the wire.
Oh, that's not going to be fun after.
Long ride home.
Long ride home, and he ain't taking him for his pinochle partner. Ooh,
looks like rider 19 on the bottom of the track.
Danielle Matthews. He did not get the script either. He was supposed to go out a lap earlier.
Out of those early numbers, though, like you said, Mr. Kirka there, 18, 19, 14, 12. Kroom is the only one who's not unlucky so far with those the lowest numbers in the field. Kroom still at the front of the pack. Got a race at the back. This time it is Rafael Alberto Ramos Vargas finally gets caught.
Gets dumped.
So the lime green is out.
They'll go out early, but not often.
Problem there coming out of 4 on the blue band, but they're still stringing along. Rider 20.
Stein, Dakota Stein.
Dakota Stein eliminated.
That's pretty surprising that early
So
for him. He's shaking his head.
Yeah, he had a great first race. He won the opening race in the Omnium. Second race didn't go so well, and this being out this early, you get the number of place you are in the race is your points. So that really hurts.
Is that Janeway Campbell? Akili Campbell. Akili Campbell. Featured on the website today for Valley Preferred.
Our Trinidad and Tobago rider. We used to have a nice little contingent from there. Good to see them back. Because we're all learning how to deal with this COVID world. Rider 26, I believe that was.
Vanderfield. 28. Tristan Vanderfield is gone.
And John Kroom in the back of the pack now. He barely made it over the top. And look, he's accelerating now. You see the Stars and Stripes jersey trying to go over the top. He's kind of floundering in the back there. Maybe put a little bit too much effort the first couple laps or so.
Ooh.
Rider 36, I believe that is.
Matthias Gomez. Matthias Gomez out. He's not happy. Him and Dakota Stein are on that Tom Brady program. They both didn't look happy when they got bumped.
Now Kroom in the back of the pack again. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to accelerate into it. I think he's just going to concede this one.
John Kroom out.
Kroom eliminates himself. He's not feeling it tonight, but
He pulled his resume early, Gary, in this one.
Yeah, it's an 8th place finish for him in this. That's going to hurt in the Omnium total standings. There is one more race today yet in the Omnium. Wow, that was a nice come across the top there. Rider 46 is eliminated.
Sutherland. Edwin Sutherland is gone. They were 5 riders across the track last lap.
That was impressive. And now you're seeing them starting to accelerate. It's an elimination race, and they're trying to, like, again, hone the, call the weak. Turn the speed up on the sprints. They get rider number 29. Brian Jastrab.
Out.
As I say, call the week. He rides for Wildlife Generation.
6. He ended up getting caught by the hyenas. Is that the hyenas get the back of the pack?
The hyenas. The lions.
Oh.
Now it's rider 52.
That is Cesar Alberto Marte Arias. So we're down to 5. Down to 4, pardon me, not 5. And I'm assuming this will be just like the women, so it's going to be the last 2 guys will get 1 and 2.
Exactly.
He got caught down in the bottom again. That is Juan Esteban Arango Caraval.
And they're just dropping like flies here. Final 3.
And it looks like it's Grodnichuk, Kinnabaugh, and Jamal Eastman.
So Eastman trying to bring something home for his daughter, his new daughter.
He's in there in the final. Grodnichuk out. So that is Eastman. Oh, they're playing a little cat and mouse here.
Yes, they are. There's a little bit of a match sprint at the end of this elimination race. I hope they're not waiting for the bell.
Me too. Eastman did come on, but it's a little too late. Kinneberg.
Jackson Kinneberg.
Kinneberg wins it. Eastman comes in. I think Eastman didn't know, Gary. It looked like there was just a slight bit of confusion. He started to make a move and then kind of backed.
Yeah, I think he was waiting to hear that bell, and I don't think the bell came. Like our women were confused last week. Here, he's riding on him. He's just riding tempo on him. He's like waiting. You can see him being super patient there. I don't think he realizes. Now he's going because he's anticipating the bell.
And then he put his head down.
Yeah. Then he realized there is no bell.
Right. And kind of caught him off guard.
Yeah.
Also want to thank the rest of our crew here tonight, along with Gary Blockus and myself, Jim Krupka. We want to thank Dan Himmelwright, Master Control. We want to thank Trevor Hoffman, Utility, John Jakowski, Utility, Corey Lures and Munch Long Audio, Scotty Richardson, Jim Grell, Brian Mulvihill, Video, Nick Alturi doing stats. Chiron is Ian Boyd, and our director for tonight's broadcast from the Valley Preferred Cycling Center is Doug Long. Want to thank that crew. They get out here a little earlier, set up. They stay a little later to tear it down, Gary. They're such a huge, huge part of what makes this great success here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center on Service Electric Network.
The camera work is just impeccable. And you can see right now the flags in the infield are really starting to blow. The wind is really picking up here a little bit. So going to play havoc with the sprinters for sure. But right now we've got coming up the UCI Elite Women's Scratch Race Final.
This should be, is this 7 to 12?
No, this
No,
is
okay.
this is the Scratch Race Final. This is 30 laps. It's the purest form of racing. First one to the finish line wins after 30 laps.
This as all color announcers do in this sport. This is basically the simplest form of racing. Right? This is how it kind of started. They put a line in the. I've heard they put a line in the ground and everybody started, and the first fight across that. That's where it came scratch race, because they scratched the line.
Exactly. And I know when I talked with the Olympic champion who's developed here, Marty Nostein, he always said he wished they had the scratch race in the Olympics when he was competing, because it's something he would have loved to have done. And we're off.
And there they go. There could be creams to try and get the sprinters to sprint, or the field to make a run. We'll see if anybody does jump out. Make an attempt to stretch the field. We'll go over all the women here tonight who have registered to race. We have Elspeth Hewlett, Ivy Coaster, Kim Zubris, Jessica Chong, Alexi Costa, Andy Marquardt, Aaron Atwell, Jerry Barrett-Paul, Jackie Boyle, Devaney Collier, McKenna McKee. I don't know if she raced tonight yet. This might be her first race. Yes. Sarah Orban, Lily Park, Sarah Van Dam, Ruby West, Mary Wentz, Amber Joseph, Claire Cameron, Jessica Bonilla Escalante, Mania Hinojosa Cruz, Nicole Joanne Rodriguez Hacohen, Vanessa Romano, Skylar Espinoza, Kayla Hawkins, and Homari Yamashita.
So there's quite a few local riders in here as well tonight.
The start race tonight is free.
25 riders.
21 was in the lead on that last lap. Partial yellow.
It's common for our new viewers to understand riders generally do take a pull. They're supposed to take a turn at the front to lead the pack out. But I think oftentimes you see some riders, Gary, definitely hanging. They like to be in that middle of the pack. They're really not keen on taking that lead spot.
No, they just like to be able to kind of suck wheels, as they say. Let the other people do the work, and when it's time for the actual finish sprinting, that's when they're there. This is a quite adept women's field here.
I've seen some good times tonight already. Of course, Marquardt and Orban square off for the final.
Women's Sprint Championship.
Tonight it is the Festival of Speed here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center, and the crowd has spiked up a tad. Either that or the line at the concession stand has gone down a tad. I'm not sure which.
You see the rider in the Stars and Stripes jersey there. It's Elspeth Hewitt, local rider. She actually works for Fuji Bicycles. She's picked up her first national championship last week. So happy, so proud. She's been in the sport for a while, and she's paying dividends for her now. Again, proud to show off that championship jersey, a national championship jersey.
Looks pretty organized out there.
Yeah, it's no one's too afraid of anybody taking off right now. It's going to be interesting because everyone can come back. Yeah, it's not like it's a points race where they can get extra points for doing this or that. No one's going to help them get points.
Way more organized than the Washington Nationals, who traded cornerstone Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. I mean, pretty soon, I don't know, there's going to be some guys missing on the Service Electric Network crew. They're going to be playing baseball for the Nationals.
And that's Willie Plant was leading that last lap. And it's just kind of everybody's
hanging together,
taking a turn here and there.
Look at that. They're spread out all over the track up there.
And now we have a preem. There's money on the line here.
Now we'll see which sprinter wants to take money and not worry about the race.
Devaney Collier there on the first leading.
There she goes.
Somebody, is that Devaney taking off? And she's looking behind her. Is anybody going to get me? I do believe that, is that Amber Joseph in pursuit? Amber Joseph, who was actually injured last Saturday, she picks up the preem. Incredible.
Good run by Joseph.
Amber Joseph from Barbados injured her shoulder in a crash here last week on a Saturday. We do Friday nights. She injured it in the UCI race on Saturday. She separated her shoulder. She's actually riding with a separated shoulder right now. So for her to pick up that preem there is just a great thing for her.
And you got to imagine Barraclaw takes that lap. You got to imagine riding the bike's got to be a little pressure on that separated shoulder. When you have your arms on that handlebar, got to feel that.
She was in the match sprint tournament this afternoon, and she did okay in her time trial, but in the actual sprinting part, she didn't. She kind of conceded the whole. One of the EMTs was saying, "I think I could have raced her in that one."
There they go. They've got 20 laps to go. We kicked 10 off the lap meter.
Just down to almost 20 kilometers to go now. Or, excuse me, 10 kilometers. You would content to be in the back, your national champion.
Again, it's going to come down to that last lap. A little bit of endurance, a little bit of sprint.
Nice long string here. As long as if it just comes down to a field sprint, it's anybody's game for sure. Zuber's there taking the lead right now in her kit. I'm not sure what to call the pattern that kit is in, but it is pretty cool. 2:26 leading that lap. That was Vanessa Romano from Allentown.
Surrendering herself? Hard to tell right now.
I don't think anybody's dropping out yet. And now we've got a little bit of a push here with 17 laps to go, coming up on 16 to go.
That's still a pretty long run, though. Let's see if whoever this is can lead it out.
Rider number 30, who is Ruby West.
Ruby West.
From Canada.
She's deciding, let's see what the rest of the field has. Now we do have a little separation, a little charge by 4 riders.
Devaney Collier leading that charge. And she's going to give that up to the rider behind her to try and make a full pull here.
See if West looks back down. Does West look back and realize that second group of chargers is backing off, or she's just doing her own thing?
You saw her take a peek there over her left shoulder in the turn to see where all the other riders were, to see if her effort is sticking or if they're in hot pursuit. And right now, that group that was trying to bridge that gap, they kind of dropped back and they're letting West go. So if they're going to let West go out there and then catch her on the last 3 laps, maybe, or just wait for a more concerted effort from the entire field to catch her.
West going to come by, take a look at the lap counter, and she's probably thinking, can I do 14 more of these and stay ahead of the field?
She can do 14 more. Whether she can stay ahead of the field or not is another question. You see, they're not really picking up. Now there's an effort from the front. Oh, that pulled up as well.
See, that question and all the others will be answered, but the good news, Gary, no commercial break. You don't have to wait to see what's going on. We're going to show you the whole thing right here.
No cliffhanger.
No.
And the field pulled up again, pulled up to the top of the track. The gap is about the same. It's about 7 seconds right now. And she looks to be hurting a little bit, not with the same consistent pace. West appears to be slowing. Got the lead group, the group here behind her, led by Aaron Atwell, again, another Canadian.
Still about 7 seconds ahead now.
So I'm wondering if the Canadians are trying to control this race and just let her get ahead. But now we've got some acceleration from the field. A group of 5-6 riders there. Oh, now the second rider in that group didn't take a pull at all, just dropped back. Next rider behind that is Nagari Barraclaw, again another Canadian rider.
No, but West has slowed down in these last 2 laps.
They're going to have her. It looks like Jessica Chung is leading the group that's almost behind her. Yeah. West is conceding. She pulled up.
11 laps to go. West couldn't do it. She should have waited about 7.
And here's a preem too, so you know she's not going to be able to get in on that.
So who's going to give up the race to get the preem though? That's what we're going to see on the next finish start line.
Oh, just because you get going for the preem doesn't mean that you're going to give up the race.
It'll be interesting with 11 to go.
You see Amber Joseph in the back there. She is 6th right now in almost the yellow kit with the blue stripes. Not the 3rd rider, but the 6th rider. But she's not going to get it. This is coming across like a string. Nobody's pushing to concede that one. That is
Bonilla Escapante.
Yes, they are from Juarez, Mexico. So she picks up the victory, not the victory, but the preem. That line is all screwed out again.
Now they're going to stay together now until somebody makes a jump with 3 or 4 laps to go. That's my prediction.
Ruby West hanging out of the back, but we've got 2 riders here kind of like falling into the back. There are riders, Vanessa Romano and Devaney Collier. They're kind of struggling in the back now, trying to catch up to the group. We're waiting for the group to decelerate so we can all congregate again. Here's another sprint, another preem being offered. Who's going to go for this one? We've got Aaron Atwell leading out with 8 laps to go. Somebody want to put their sprinter's legs on and maybe risk the race now? And you do see a sprint here.
Here they come.
See 2 riders really pushing from the back, coming over the top, above the red line, looking down. This is a spirited sprint rider, 19. That is Barraclaw, followed by Bonilla Escapita.
And they are going to take it to the street right here. It looks like they're going to say 7 laps to go. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because the field now is accelerating onto them. They're not letting them get away. They're taking short pulls. Bonilla Escapita leading.
Our Service Electric crew gearing up for Music Fest. They'll be covering that thing, it seems like 24/7.
That's next week already, isn't it?
Next week.
Friday?
Next Friday. And football season, everything's kicking into gear for the Service Electric Network crew.
So it's Barraclaw and Bonilla Escapita right now. Canadian and a Mexican. Trying to duke it out there in the front of the pack, trying to stay in the front. 5 laps to go. It's like 4.5.
They're already slowing down. Looks like
field's not that far back, but there seems to be no concerted effort to try and catch them.
Our 2 leaders, though, now they look like they're pressing in a little more with 4 laps to go.
Just over a kilometer. 3 laps left will be a kilometer. Jessica Chong sitting back in 5th place in the blue kit.
So it is Barraclaw and Bonilla Escapita.
Dave just opened up a gap, and the field has gone up to the top of the track. The field seems content to let these 2 go.
Well, 3 laps to go, maybe. See what happens.
This is a 2-woman race right now between Barraclaw and Bonilla Escapita. And they're both just riding tempo. They're riding pace. They're pushing. They've got almost a half a lap on the field with just under 2.5 laps to go. 2 laps to go now.
Now they've lapped the rider.
And it's going to come down to these two.
Right now, Bonilla Escapite leading it.
She's in the red, and Barraclaw in the white, or the blue, white and blue. And there's some hammering going on now. There's some, look at the heads are down, the bodies are flat, the backs are flat. They're pushing it, coming up to the bell lap. Here we go. This has been, it's been just each rider taking a pull, each rider taking a pull. And now it's going to be the sprint to the finish between Bonilla Escapita and Barraclaw.
Barraclaw, Gary, it was interesting. Barraclaw now, as they head down the backstretch, looks like she drafted for a little bit. Let's see what happens.
She did. She just got out of the saddle to try and match the jump and she did. She matched the jump. She's holding the lane. She's holding the time. She's holding the lowest line, the shortest distance, and she gets it. That is a big win for Nagari Barraclaw.
I think it was interesting the way Barraclaw, the lap before with 2 to go, she dropped back and she drafted and then waited. Great play.
Yeah, it's a little bit of wheel sucking, but it's legal nonetheless, and it worked for her perfectly. And that's always the thing, is if you want to have some energy in reserve. If that's what you have to do, that's what you do.
Whatever you got to do to pick up a couple seconds on your opponent, it's a big key win. Nice win for Barraclaw.
Congratulations. She doesn't have a big smile on. I think she's like a little exhausted there.
That's a 30 lapper. That takes a little energy out of you.
Yeah, takes a little snap out of those legs. And she's gonna, and here, like, you see her go there. She's got the sprinter's lane. She comes up a little high to make sure she's controlling any type of move that may come over the top. Right. She's gonna hold it out that whole last 3/4 of a lap. Now she again comes high out of the sprinter's lane a little bit, but just the speed of that would do that to you. She made sure she controlled that shortest line to the finish.
I give it to Bonilla Escapite. Tried to make a move in between turn 3 and 4 and just realized it was going to be not enough.
Yeah, she had the longer distance. She had the longer pulls. It kind of hurt. So next up, I believe, we will have the UCI Elite Women's Sprint Finals. First ride up will be for 3rd and 4th place, and then for 1st and 2nd, this again, best 3 rides.
So it's going to be Boyle going against Rodriguez Hacohen. Okay, we're going to send it right now trackside. Gabe Lloyd's got our winner, Barraclaw.
Nairi Barraclaw. She is the winner of our UCI Elite Women's Scratch Race. So Nairi, in that race, it looked like the preems had an effect on the overall outcome. Can you talk us through that field dynamic a little bit?
Sure, yeah. I actually really like the preems because in a scratch race, normally there's nothing to really push the pace, tire everyone out, and allow for an attack. But the preems stretch things out, which I really liked because then you can really push for an attack after those. So they definitely changed it, felt a little more like a point than a scratch race. So just made everyone a little more tired and things could go.
And you took advantage of the other field being tired, and you really had a breakaway partner there, Jessie Bolina, for a few laps. So is that a good breakaway partner for you?
Yeah, she was awesome. She was really strong in the sprints and then just willing to work, which is exactly what you want.
All right, well, that's perfect. Sounds like that was a perfect setup for you to get a UCI win here tonight. Let's hear it for Nairi Barraclaw, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see a lot more of her in our race program.
And again, having a partner to make that move stick, that's the most important thing, because you saw earlier that you just can't hold that while you're on your own. It's just too long a distance, too mentally difficult.
And her name, Nairi.
Nairi.
We have that clarified. We'll remember that for the sprints. And how about that? She knows her game. And that wasn't even scripted, folks. She just tossed that out.
Okay, so this one we have, this is for 3rd and 4th place. Again, best of 3 rides. This is Nicole Joanne Rodriguez Hacohen in the blue. And in the black, we have Jackie Boyle from Canada. This is the Guatemalan versus the Canadian for 3rd and 4th place in the UCI Elite Women's Sprint Final, race number 1.
There'll be 3 races. The rider that wins, obviously, 2 of 3 will finish in 3rd, and the other rider will finish in 4th place.
And we're turning it on here a little bit early.
They get the bell.
Rodriguez Cohen trying to push the pace, trying to make it a long sprint. She has turned it into a long sprint, a little bit over a full lap. Boyle trying to push her from back out of her saddle into turn 3. High in the track though. She's got a long distance to go. And she won't have enough. That
Rodriguez Cohen takes it.
First right to Rodriguez Cohen. She forced Boyle to take that high road, longer route to the finish. You're in a sprint when you're less than 1/10 of a second difference between your top sprint. Here you see she's just holding her high in the track out of the sprinter's lane, making her take that long, long ride to the finish line. Now she's in the sprinter's lane. She got the shorter distance to go. She's already timed 1/10 of a second faster, and the fastest that they've done. And there's no catching up.
Now Marquardt and Orban will hit the track.
And again, these are Orban, Canadian Olympic alternate. Marquardt just shy of making the U.S. Olympic team. So these two women have a lot to prove, both to their countries and to each other.
That is the winner of the first heat.
Rodriguez Cohen.
Two more to follow. 2 more to follow if we need them.
Marquardt is going to the top of the track for this one, looks like. And Orban will be the lower rider, so Orban will have to lead out his first lap. Marquardt will come back. In qualifying today, Marquardt qualified at 11.243. Orban at 11.373. That's 1.3 seconds of a difference in speed between these two. So you know Orban is going to either try to make her ride a longer sprint or try to do something tactically to knock off the speed she has. Like we saw the last ride with trying to hold the rider up a little bit higher. Because Boyle did qualify faster than Rodriguez Cohen, but Rodriguez Cohen was able to control the shorter distance to the finish line.
Cat and mouse right now.
Marquardt getting a look from high up, making sure she's ready to do anything she wants. If she sees an opening, she's going to take it. You'll see riders sometimes just come down and drop it in the sprinter's lane and take it over and start to sprint that far back. Going up and down, looking for weaknesses, looking for anything that might catch it in here. Marquardt goes into the sprinter's lane. See, the opening was there. She took it. She's looking back. She's like saying something. Now she comes up high. The sprint isn't. Look at that. Now big sprint. These two are going. They're throwing their bikes out pretty good. Marquardt taking the lowest road she possibly can to the finish line. And that was a spirited sprint. That was a good flip at the start of the bell, right around when the bell came. Marquardt diving down into the sprinter's lane. Orban tried to like come down into it, but Marquardt controlled it, so she was not allowed to do that, so she had to stay up. And Marquardt just turned on the jets.
Good run by Mandy Marquardt. She takes the first and possibly 3.
And here you see her dive in that sprinter's lane. Now you see Orban try to come into it. She can't. Marquardt looking over at her, saying, "Are you coming down? Are you going to try and come down?" Marquardt goes deliberately high into turn 2 to make the race longer. Now she's got it low coming into the final 2 turns. Look at that, holding that red line beautifully. In the sprinter's lane, just beautiful, making sure she's got the shortest distance.
So they'll get a little breather, and we'll be back with heat number 2. Right now, it should be
The men's Kieran minor final for 7th through 12th.
7 through 12, second race. This will be 6 riders. James Hedgecock, Thomas Quinn, Dylan Gonzalez, Andrew Chow, Andrew Scott, and Christopher Heineman.
Heineman riding for Juventus. It's almost like a soccer team.
Oh, Juventus. Oh, okay. Or it sounds like one of those meditation commercials that we're getting bombarded with on TV.
I prefer thinking of the soccer team, but
I'll go with that too. I said just hit your head and you go, oh my gosh, I've seen that on TV somewhere.
Here we go. So we've got only Tom Quinn from Edge Cycling is in this final. Again, this is for 7th through 12th. Dylan Gonzalez, who actually had a really good ride in his heat as well. And then again, we have Andrew Chu, the Flushing, New York. And he trains locally with Edge Cycling, run by Andrew Harris. And we're off.
There they go. 7 through 12, the cycle will drop off about 2.5 laps into the race. This is the 7 through 12 spot.
Yeah, this first lap is always fun because it's the motorcycle accelerates as it goes. So the motorcycle isn't going real fast, and the riders have to try to maintain their composure behind it until it accelerates. Next rider, 223, Tom Quinn, behind the motor. Nice string of riders here, just setting them up.
And again, Gary, UCI points being given out here. Because, you might say to yourself, oh, what does it matter, 7 to 12, but if you're going to get points of some kind.
It's points for your country.
You want to.
Points towards qualifying for World Cups, World Championships, and eventually the Olympic Games.
In 2024.
Which they're only 3 years away, not 4 now, from this current Olympics. Motor pulls off. Quinn holding the lead, goes up. Little tour of the track there. Make sure nobody comes out from behind him real quick. Looking for a rider, maybe a teammate coming behind. There goes rider 314.
Next
that
time
is
around.
Andrew Chu, his teammate.
Next time around, they'll get the bell.
Setting them up. The two Edge Cycling. They're commanding right now. Quinn going. Chu behind him. Quinn leading. Chu behind him. Here comes the bell. Quinn, Chu now over the top. That is rider Andrew Scott from Canada. And he is just going great guns down there. He is sprinting like crazy. He's got the sprinter's lane. Now someone's coming over the top on him. That is rider 30 at the 50, rather, at the finish lane. James Hedgecock
jumps in and takes 7th spot.
From behind, from a long way behind, from a high road, but he was able to utilize the drafts of the riders in front of him to help him accelerate. You get a little bit of a whip around when you get into that slipstream. You can see him coming over the top there. He's in fourth position. Now he's using the other rider's speed, the slipstreams, and he comes across. Look at that. Just using the distance didn't matter because there's such a wake created by him. Here he comes.
And if you think 7 through 12 doesn't matter, watch this.
Look at that. And he does that little throw at the end there. Congratulations to a well-ridden race.
And again, great camera shot of 4 riders putting themselves in position to take a better placement than they may have. So now we have, this is 1 through 6. You'll see the same style of race out of Ryan Doddick, Harrison, Goodell, Canelon Vera, Jalen Sidney, Jeanway Tang, Roberto Serrano Plowels, and Evan Boone.
At least he ended on an easy to pronounce name.
Yeah, I want to thank the riders for that order of finish to put the easy name last after your gas going through the listing.
Multi-syllabic.
There we go. Everybody on the track. No, somebody's starting up top, somebody's starting up bottom. That is one interesting thing here. You got to stay on your toes. It's not like a football or baseball game where everything's set for the whole game. This is starting here, starting there, starting with a motorcycle.
And they draw the positions before they come up. So the first on the line takes his position. Second, it looks like we have a little bit of a mechanical issue here with the seat.
And not only that, sometimes we have handicap races, and they spread them out all over the track.
Yep. Doing some adjustments on the seat right now for one of the Canadian riders. Let's see, it's coming up. Getting a little push. Whoop. Oh, and he goes down. Okay. Oh, well. Got the seat adjusted, retightened. He's up there. He's got a different holder now.
Uh-oh, somebody got cut. Training camp, just like the football players. Holders are getting the boot. This is the men's Kieran. 1 to 6 placement. This is the final. They'll go 5 laps. They'll go about 2.5 with a motorcycle. Now we're better off.
And it's always a little bit, you're on a little bit higher up in that slant there, the slant of the track. And it's certainly a little bit of a bruised ego. He doesn't think anybody saw him till now. And he gets to watch the replay.
Taking some pictures down there. Couple fans very close.
It's a nice sturdy hold for right around the top.
Oh, and here we go. Different type of cycle hitting the track right now.
Yes, it's a motorcycle.
Don't worry, anybody just tuning in. The motorcycle is not going to stay on the track. We do know he would win every race if he stayed. There they go. And they'll cycle out. Set a pace.
So Boone wearing the Stars and Stripes jersey is the U.S. national champion.
Evan Boone is number 30. Serrano Plowell's 54. Jean Tang is either 25 or 225. Jalen Sidney, 47. Canelone Vera, 39. And Doddick is number 34.
It's always neat to see the way the line forms. Doddick in second place right now. Lead rider behind the bike is rider 54, Roberto Serrano Plowels from Merida, Mexico. He's the primo position. Doddick right behind him. Followed by Grisoni, Gadiel, Canelone Vera. And it's going to be interesting to see how Mr. Boone portrays this. The motorcycle is off. Boone content to sit there back in 5th position right now. And you got one more lap to go before the bell. Bringing up the rear, Jalen Sidney.
Serrano Plowels leading it out, but now they'll get the bell.
Jean Tang takes off. Lap and a half to go. Pushes the pace. Kind of looking behind him over his right shoulder. And now we've got a bullet. That is right at 47.
Sidney. Jalen Sidney.
Blowing the field away. Here you see Jean Tang accelerating on the back straight. Jean Tang's going to catch him, it looks like, in the 3rd turn. He's got him. He's got the slipstream. Jean Tang over the top, but he's got somebody on top of him. But Jean Tang sprints to the victory. That was a rocket shot there by Tang to secure that win.
That's a great job. Both riders, Jean Tang came on, but how about the sprint to give Jean Tang the impetus to make the jump? You'd love to get the riders after that race to know would he have done that?
He threw all his speed into the beginning, but there is he just just overtook the entire field.
Sidney, though, Sidney here presses it down.
He takes off. Sidney's just like a bullet. Tang content. Now he's up out of the saddle. Look how long he's out of the saddle. He's just going and going. That's acceleration. And he even turned kind of away from him, making sure that he knew where the rider on his wing was. He knew where he had to make sure who the rider on his right was. He wasn't going to be overtaken by him. But you saw him turn like his whole body looking at the right because he knew he had enough speed coming around to get Mr. Sidney.
And I think if we get a chance here, Gabe Lloyd is going to talk to Jean-Wei Tang. I hope so, because Sidney and Tang really made that a great race. And Sidney came out of nowhere first, made the jump.
Yeah, and there are sometimes in the Keirin where you'll see 3 or 4 riders do the same exact thing, and then it's just like so narrow coming down the finish line. That was just an enjoyable, fun race.
We'll take it trackside with Gabe Lloyd.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with tonight's UCI Keirin winner, Jean-Wei Tang. Let's hear it for Jean-Wei before we begin. Jean-Wei, tell us where you're from, my man.
I'm originally from Queens Village, New York, and I moved here last summer because of COVID, and school became online, so I've been here training all year.
And it showed, man. You just won yourself a UCI Elite Keirin. Talk us through that amazing ride. You're on the front, then you weren't, and then you got right back around.
I actually missed the move, and coming in a 1 to go, I just laid down the hammer and tried to chase him down, and I got him at the line.
Well, congratulations, man. I know you got a lot of strategy. You do a lot of studying of the art of Keirin. Tell us a little bit about how that works for you.
Honestly, I just listen to what Coach tells me and hope for the best.
All right, well, Coach did right tonight. Let's hear it one more time for Jean-Wei Tang, ladies and gentlemen, our champion tonight in our UCI Elite Men's Keirin.
Yeah, it's interesting. He says he missed that initial move.
That was hard to miss. Although when again Sidney made that move, I thought, wow, no one's catching him. I thought Jalen Sidney, when he jumped out, I thought he had it without a problem.
I did too.
It looked like he scared, not scared everybody, but surprised everybody. He made his move in turn 1.
Tang Wei got down low. He dropped his hips. Even when he got out of the saddle to accelerate, he kept his hips low. He just like powered it. It was just super sprinter there.
Now we have Marquard and Orban. This is race number 2. Marquard took the first race. This will be 2 laps.
This will be Rodriguez.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
jumping ahead of myself. Yeah, Boyle and Rodriguez
for third
Hakohen.
place.
And right now, Hakohen has the lead in this. Rodriguez Hakohen won the first one, so if she takes the second one, she will finish in 3rd. And whoever loses this race would finish in 4th, Boyle or Rodriguez Hakohen.
Interesting knee movement there by Rodriguez Hakohen, really tucking that right knee into the bike frame while she's being held. And then as soon as she was ready to be released, she dropped it up to a regular open position. So now we know that Orban is the faster rider.
Orban is in the black. Rodriguez
Boyle,
in the blue.
Boyle is the faster rider, but Rodriguez Hakohen took her the last time.
So this time Boyle breaks out in front.
So I don't think Boyle's going to want to play any games this time. She knows she can't because she's got to beat her to the line to force a 3rd ride. Rodriguez Hakohen really trying to push her from behind, but she's got the high road. Boyle throwing her bike around like a little bit like spaghetti, but here, look at this acceleration by Hakohen again. My goodness. She's keeping her high. Boyle's trying to keep her high. And she does. She keeps her just high enough to make it difficult. We are tied at 1-1. We will have a ride 3 for 3rd place.
So Boyle and Rodriguez Hakohen, they'll have to come back. And this is a good run by Boyle.
And Boyle just gets out of the saddle, pushes it. Hakohen stays in the saddle the whole time. Almost neck and neck there. Boyle up top, he's commanding the sprinter's lane. Just has that shorter distance. And her Cullen kind of backs off at the end, says, well, I'm going to have to save it for the third ride. Because Boyle was still going there at the end.
Now we'll have Marquard and Orban. This is for first place and second place. Marquard took the first race. So if she wins it, she's in the Stars and Stripes. She will be our first place winner in the women's sprints. This is the Festival of Speed tonight here at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Service Electric Network exclusively here. See our logo in the back there, pretty familiar.
Getting last minute instructions. Marquardt being held by her coach, Andrew Harris.
This is ride number 2.
Interesting.
Marquard won the first.
The Canadian uniform, well, not so much a uniform, but the Canadian coaches' shirts and all, kind of looking like New Zealand, going with the all black again.
Riders away.
Because previously they had been red and white, now they're black. I just find that interesting. It's going to create some confusion at the Commonwealth Games.
Are there a lot of teams riding with black? Or?
Well, New Zealand, they're the All Blacks. So Marquardt just content to watch it now. Oh. We almost had Orban trying to do what Marquardt did last time, drop down in the sprinters lane and take control. Marquardt now on the bell lap, pushing, trying to use their speed.
They're on the backstretch right now. You can see the shadowing to the right.
Orban trying to get in that slipstream. Behind her, can't get up over her. Now she's up high over the top. Marquardt's got to bear down, and she does. Marquardt wins in straight rides. Your UCI Elite Women's Sprint champion. After winning the women's sprint for the U.S. last week.
Mandy Marquard wins it in 2 runs. Good run by her again. Both, and Gary, really some subtle differences in her offense in those 2 races.
Yeah, this one, she just led from the front and turned it on. And you just see her here just trying to match speed, make sure she's not getting out. She saw Orban come out of the saddle. She came out of the saddle. Matching what she did, not giving up any ground, staying low. Again, trying to get that shortest line to the finish, using her advantage in speed and that tactical advantage of having the sprinters lane.
And she just took one look back right before turn 3. That was the last time she checked out where Orban was, Marquard, and then just took it to the house.
Yes, congratulations to a great young woman. Again, she has type 1 diabetes. She's been dealing with it her entire life, struggling with it. Every day is a challenge, and every day is a challenge she accepts and overcomes. And she's just a great story, great inspiration for so many kids out there who have type 1 diabetes. She does presentations. I know she works with St. Luke's Hospital as one of their featured athletes to work with kids and do camps and things like that.
So Mandy Marquard will bring it around. I'm not sure if we'll have the opportunity to have her interviewed by Gabe Lloyd. Gabe's ready to go. Here comes Mandy. I think she is going to cruise in. We've seen her at least once in the 2 prior weeks for some big wins. And same again here for Mandy Marquard. We're going to throw it down, I believe, to Gabe Lloyd, trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with our champion tonight, Mandy Marquard. This is Mandy's home track. Mandy, tell us what it means to take another UCI victory right here at your hometown track.
It always feels good to win here, and just right after my teammate won the Kieran, his first UCI win, that was pretty special to watch.
Yeah, Jeanwei Tang is her teammate. They may wear different kits, but they do train together every single day. So Jeanwei, her teammate, just won. Now Mandy takes the next UCI win. Mandy, you race for a program called Team Novo Nordisk. It has changing diabetes on your kit. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
Team Novo Nordisk is the world's first all-diabetes professional cycling team, so I'm racing and living with type 1 diabetes alongside my teammate McKenna, who's been racing here, a junior, and yeah, we're showing what's possible with diabetes. Sorry, my mouth is getting...
All right, well, while Mandy's mouth is drying up, we're going to let her get a drink of water. Let's hear it for her one more time. Mandy Marquardt, ladies and gentlemen, our UCI champion this evening.
And there you go. Great interview with Mandy Marquardt. How about that? Teammates kicking it in. It's so funny, as you mentioned in weeks prior, Gary, you know, it's not easy to tell who's on the same teams because they all have different kits on, but there's a case of that. That's great to see her supporting, you know, the team weight, Jean Wei Tang. And, you know, you got to say to yourself, they talk in the Olympics about the swimmers, you know, they win a gold medal and they've got another event. It gets them pumped up. That had to help her a little bit to see her teammate win.
Oh, absolutely. And people think of cycling as an individual sport because it's about who wins, but it's also about your team around you, the people you train with, the people that make a team, like your the coaching staff, the other riders, the ones who inspire you, the ones that you're hoping you will inspire. And again, with Team Novo Nordisk, with their type 1 diabetes fight, I think it's just a tremendous thing for kids to see that you can succeed. You don't have to let it beat you. You can be whatever you want to be. Next up, we have this UCI Elite Men's Omnium final event, a points race.
Biggie there, if you notice, the great graphic, 78 laps, but they get sprints, points on every 6 laps. I think it's, if I can remember, I think, isn't it 5, 3, 2, and 1 points for the riders?
Yes. And it can get confusing without a scorecard. It's funny, you see people go to baseball games and keep the book, and that's kind of what you have to do during a points race. You have to keep the book on who's scoring points, when, what, how. And it's always those fourth place points that you miss, that little 1-pointer that sneaks in there, that little 2-pointer that can make the difference.
So I'm going to go with 13 sets of points.
It's a good breakdown there, Jim.
Hey, it's summertime. I don't have to do math. I don't have to do math in the summertime, Gary.
Oh, it's math is for the summertime because you know how many days left before you go back to school.
Ouch.
It's I always say once we hit 4th of July, summer's over anyway.
There you go. I know a lot of people who would agree with you, but I know some people who wouldn't. Here we go. They're going out. 13 sets of points. The first set going to come our way very shortly. Guy who's got to be on his toes for this race is not the riders. It's our stat guy, Nick, out here.
It is. Every 6 laps, this gets really tough. And then there's a breakaway group. It makes it even tougher because the breakaway group gets back into the field. Sometimes they lap the field twice. And you just kind of like lose track of who's leading whom.
So right now, these first 2 sets of points, very important, I think, because they set the table.
Absolutely. Right now, John Kroom, despite what happened in that last race, is still leading the Omnium with 102 points, but he's followed right behind by Jamal Eastwood with 100 points. So 2 points separate Kroom and Eastwood. Meanwhile, Edwin Sutherland is back with 94. Jackson Kinbrough with 92. Juan Esteban Arango Carval with 86. Matias Guillaume with 84. And Silico.
Points lap coming up. They're at 75. The points will go out at 72.
That's good math.
Yep.
You've got to be good at math, though. You do bullies.
Yeah. It's all automatic today. Although, I'll never forget how to keep score. Hey, there were guys, I know we're varying away from cycling here. There were bowlers that love to keep score. A name comes to mind, automatic. Al Smith, he used to get picked in our Classic League first. Now, he's a good bowler, don't get me wrong. but he would get picked first because Al loved to keep score. So there was always a captain who wanted him on the team because he loved it at the board. And that we're talking about back in the day of the wax pencil. He loved it.
And we've got the bell for the first sprint of the evening. We've got Rider 36, Mathias Guillemet taking off to Trois-Rivières, Quebec. He's got a rider on his rear wheel, though. Now he's got a rider accelerating over the top. Looks to be another Canadian. It's hard to tell with all these dark colors. It will be Guillemet taking it.
Okay.
Guillemet takes the first. And that group
Grabs the first group of 5 points.
That group of 5 who came across, they're still pushing it.
So maybe they want to shake this thing up right out of the chute here.
You've got a pursuit group of 7, a lead group of 5. John Kroom in that lead group. Kroom leading the Omnium, knows he's got to finish here in the top 1 or 2.
Or he's not going to hold
not
down
gonna
that
win.
number 1 spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to keep his eye on Jamal Eastman, rider number 35, and whatever Eastman does and whatever Edwin Sutherland 36 do, he's got to make sure he does just as good or better.
All right, so you have Guillemet picked up the 5 points. Arangio Cadaval picked up 3. 2 were picked up by Kroom, so he hung right in there. And I think there's 1 more point, and it's Nathan Roberts kind of sniped that 1 point.
So that's speaks good for Mr. Kroom after 1 sprint. We've got another breakaway lead here. I think that was clever Jose Martinez Morris leading in the front there. In blue and white.
A couple riders leading out. They're going to hang tough. And that is Martinez Moros and Tristan Vanderfield. He points out at 66. So it is Vanderfield. They're going to work together.
And this in the points race, this can stick. Now we're coming up to the sprint. Fracture trade, you got rider number 41, that's Ethan Ogrodnichuk on the tail. And again, Kroom kind of riding tempo here, making sure, trying to mark the riders he needs to be aware of so he doesn't finish far behind them or make sure that he finishes to them.
So that is going to be
rider number
Martinez Moros.
Followed by Manderfeld. You've got the field trying to accelerate. Got about a third of a track lead here for the leaders. In third place in that round was Ogrodnichuk. Now Kroom has dropped to the back of the field. Again, he's got to be super concerned with just 2 riders here, well, 3 riders really, with Gerald Eastman, rider 35, Edwin Sutherland, 46, and Jackson Kinneberg.
Martinez Moros, again, working together with Tristan Vanderfield. They're pushing this lead a little bit, Gary.
Yes, they are. They're opening it up. It's only about a third of a track. And now Kroom was up at the front there, though, so he's just taking turns with his pulls. Again, he's probably just trying to mark the riders that are going to be most dangerous to him to win the Omnium overall, the title.
11 sets of points to go out.
He can lose this race, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, depending on what the riders who are closest to him in the Omnium standings are doing. So this is as much mental as it is physical. Trying to count the points, trying to watch your competition. If it was me, I think I'd try to go for win the race or my best position in the race and not worry about the rest of the riders.
No, I agree. And I think you got these two riders who are out ahead, Vanderfield and Martinez Moros. You know, they can work together because now they're almost a half track ahead.
Yeah, they did pull up that last lap and a half, really helped them out.
And here they go. They're still working hard. They could use one more rider, I think, to really, really, really let this thing get away from the rest of the field. As Vanderfield checks it out, great camera shot as they took a peek across the track.
Vanderfield wins that sprint.
I'm going to kind of try and time them out here as they go. But the line now, the pursuers stretch out across the track, but I'm going to say they're a good 9 or 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah, so I had Vanderfeld first there in that one.
Right.
Martinez
Moros
by
should have been
Martinez
second.
Moros. Then I had rider 46, Edwin Sutherland. So Kroom's got to watch that.
I missed them.
And rider 29,
Jastrab, Ryan Jastrab picked up one.
So Sutherland is one of the riders who can give Kroom problems.
Let's check it out here. Here they come across the start-finish line.
Both Kroom and Sutherland have 2 points each for third place finishes in the sprints.
Well, I got them about 7 seconds right now ahead of the field. We got a set of points coming out at 54. That'll be 3 laps. But now here they come.
Yeah,
they realize the urgency. They're coming after them.
They've got a group of 5 there with Kroom in there. They're chasing down. They're all being very short with the pulls they're taking. They're all giving up, but they're all in the group, but they're just switching the lead pull really quick. No one wants to take that full long. Now they all pull up. That whole chase group just pulled up.
And they had trimmed 2 seconds of basically off the lead. Let's see where it goes now. But here comes that crew now, drops to the bottom 4 riders.
And this is the second set that came from the field after the lead set gave up. Not gave up, but conceded, said, okay, we did our work, now somebody else do your work. They
trimmed another second off. They are now only about 3 seconds behind. I'm going to say in 2 laps, our leaders are going to be caught. Or sooner.
Robert Mayfield is the weak link in this field right now. He is way back. He's in danger of within a half a lap of being lapped. We're up to the points, and now we've got contesting here for the points. And like a rocket, we have Yime coming again.
That's Kroom, I believe. Is that Kroom down? No, he's in.
Kroom's in the Stars and Stripes.
Right.
He's in 4th place right now. He's trying to shoot. Yime is in front of him. Yime is leading this one out. Kroom is sitting in 4th place right now.
So Guillaume is going to get the first set of points.
So I do believe Kroom took 4th in that one.
So Guillaume, though, has taken 2, so he's got at least 10 points in this race.
Now we have rider 38. That is Kinneberg. Again, he's another one that's in contention for the Omnium title. The ones that Kroom has to mark, has to watch, can't fall behind.
Kinneberg was in 3rd for the Omnium, correct?
Yes, if he was in 3rd, then he and Kroom are tied with 3 points each.
Going to get another set of points coming out at 48, so 4 laps to go. Guillaume's in front.
So Kinneberg has 3 points. Kroom has 3 points. Guillaume has 10.
At 10, Guillaume took the first set and he took the 4th set.
Martinez Moros has 8, so he's in 2nd place overall right now.
But now the field has really, those guys that were leading are not separate. Everything's back to
back to square one.
A mixed amoeba. Leading out that one is Jamal Eastman. We're going to give out this other set of points. We're going to go to break, but we'll be back then with some new point totals and some more laps to see. There you see them, flags of many nations waving here at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Jim Kripke along with Gary Blockus, Service Electric Network crew, and we are in a big one, Gary. It was 78 laps right now. Leading the field is Manderfield. He's got 16 points. Kinderberg has 13. Moros Martinez 12. Guimay 10. But more importantly, the Omnium points have tightened up.
It's significantly. Kroom is tied with Kinneberg right now, and it's going to come down to all these final sprints here. That is rider 49 with the win there.
That is Arango Caraval. He picks up 5. And I'm not sure who else picked up points. It's tough to catch them as they fly across.
The field is fractured significantly. There's a group of like 5 riders leading right now.
But Kinneberg still with 13.
John Kroom, who was your Omnium leader when we left, he has not had a sprint point since that 4th sprint, and he is clinging on to a tie right now for first place overall in the Omnium.
And the Omnium also, Jamal Eastman with 100 points. And I think we have a second rider with 100 points, and that is Edwin Sutherland.
So Sutherland is a big competition right now, but Kinneberg has really come on with 2 sprint victories and a 2nd place finish so far in this race. We
only have 3 sets of points to go out. 12 laps, 6 laps in the final, and I think the finals generally are double.
Not in
this one, not in UCI. Okay, so that's what we're doing.
Right.
Friday Night Lights.
Right, I enjoy that. It was extra incentive.
So we're looking at Manderfield and Kinneberg in terms of this individual race.
The leaders have now lapped the field, so there'll be point deductions here. Kroom just lost 20 points.
That's not going to help.
So Kinneberg is in front all alone with 105 points. With Kroom being lapped, you go down points. Eastman is now 2nd with 100 points, tied with Sutherland with 100. And we've got Arango Caraval with 99, Martinez Moroz with 95. But the big news is Kroom, who was leading the Omnium, has now been lapped. He's got to work really hard over these last 13 laps if he wants to try and get a lap back and regain his points.
There's the bell. They'll go to the lap points for lap 12 laps left in the race.
This is 3 sprints in all. And here come the Flyers. Woo!
They are really pushing it out. That's Guimay, Matthias Guimay.
It's rider 36. Nope, it's rider 26.
Sorry, rider 26. That is Tristan Manderfield, 28.
Oh, 28, Manderfeld. So Manderfeld takes that sprint.
So he's got 21 points. Probably going to almost lock up the race. It depends where Kinneberg's finished in that set of points.
No, he'll lock up the race, but it doesn't appear like he's going to win the Omnium.
Correct.
That is still between Kinneberg. Yeah, Manderfeld is the leader on the track right now, followed by Morris Martinez, Jastreb, and Eastman.
So Kinneberg and Eastman have the chance going for the Omnium points.
So Eastman making slow inroads. In a long race like this, when there's 13 sprints, if you can chip away and get into that lead, that's the good thing.
We're going to give points out, 6 laps to go. Again, no double points. UCI race. I want to thank our crew, the cameramen here tonight. Alex Hazard, Jake Leiby, Joe Wolokovich, Rocco Maffa, and Paul Long. 9 laps to go. 3 for points. 3 more laps.
That's the lead group right there. You see at the camera. Or some of the leaders, some of the people are actually lapped.
They're commingled.
This is what makes it difficult trying to award points, but yeah, that was Dakota Steiner who had the lead pull, holding back up on Four riders have been lapped. Lose 20 points for that. And then we've got Flyer on the bottom, and the attack comes as the split starts.
Here it is, the bell for the point lap. Is that Matthias Sutherland, I believe, leading it out?
It's Danielle Matthews, I think, 19. And here comes, I believe it's Vargas, Ramos, Vargas.
Leaders pushing it out hard. Here they come.
No, it's Martinez Moros.
Martinez Moros, he's got 5 points. So Martinez Moros might have 17 points.
That's his third lap victory.
But did Manderfield pick up any points? That would be the key to find out if he's still holding down the race lead.
Still waiting for official on that 12th sprint. 1 sprint remaining.
Five laps to go. One set of points.
Kenny Berg picked up second points for third on that lap.
So he's got 50. I have him at 15 points.
He is now leading the Omnium with 108 points, followed by Moros Martinez with 103. So Moros Martinez has made great inroads here.
And Jamal Eastman in third spot at 101.
Martinez Moros's big chance here is to take first place on the last sprint and have Kenny Berg finish out of the placing. They would have 108 points each for the Omnium, but by virtue of most points on the last sprint, he would win.
And he sees a big push, or another rider maybe trying to play spoiler.
Daniel Matthews.
Can he stay? They're looking for Moros Martinez, who's at 17 points. There's 2 laps to go.
Keep your eyes on 52 and 38 because that's not going to just decide this race, but it's going to decide the overall, the Omnium, which is what this is part of.
Takes a look back at that Manderfield. That's Matthews, number 19. He's going to throw a wrench into the works.
That's Nate Roberts, isn't it? Number 18?
Is that 18, Nate Roberts? Or is it?
It's 18, 18. It is. It's Nate Roberts.
Nate Roberts is going to take the 5-er. That's huge.
Well, he's not going to take the
yet.
5-er. He's just leading. And he's trying to put it down.
Yep.
But he's pushing the riders. Now I think that's Jastrow. And now here come the big guns.
Bunch of riders, can't see the numbers. 49, right? That's Arango Carval. But somebody snuck in, took the last set of 5. 36, rider 36, that's Matthias Goumet.
So Goumet with his 4th lap win of the evening.
I have him at least 15 points. Bunch of riders make a move.
What a finish.
Matthias Goumet runs it. He's happy.
Look at him going. Look at that speed. Look at the impressive work there. Just a push. They're going for it all here. They don't care if they got the points to win, and they're just a push to the finish.
And I don't think any of the lead riders were in those top 5.
So the way it looks now, if they weren't, then it would be Kenny Berg winning the overall, winning the Omnium.
At 108, Kenny Berg. So Kinneberg is going to take the Omnium, and we do know it was Goumet who took the race, the sprint.
So 18 points for Kenny Berg in this race. And I do believe that is enough to win.
Oh, Kinneberg's got that.
No, 18. It looks like Manderfeld.
Manderfeld should win it at 21.
Manderfeld, right. Manderfeld wins.
Manderfeld was at 21, so Manderfeld should be the winner of the race. And then you're talking about the Omnium, which is different. That is Kinneberg at 108.
I believe Martinez Moroz had 21 points as well.
He had to pick up points then in that last race because I had him at 17. That last sprint, pardon me. I had him at 17. But I think we're going to get an interview, possibly trackside. There he is. Tinneberg is your Omnium champion. He's with Gabe
Jackson,
Lloyd.
that was a hard-fought race, but tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into those details. Where are you from, my man, and how long you've been racing bikes?
Yeah, I'm Jackson. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I've been racing maybe since I was like 13. So, yeah, started young, just kept on pushing, and yeah, it's fun to be winning races here now.
Yeah, awesome, man. You've had a great few weeks here, but tonight you got the Omnium overall. Looked like you had to play a lot of strategy, though, because you did not come into the race leading it overall. So what was your tactic for tonight?
Last weekend, I kind of went defense the whole time, so I kind of had a slow morning, partially like tired legs, partially just not mentally there, but yeah, I got it together for the last elimination and points and took it to him.
Yeah, man, you really did. You really took the race to the rest of the field. Now, were you concerned at all about Eastman there in that final sprint? Because he was ahead of you, but you had the math worked out.
Yeah, I was told by one of the coaches you need to get points in the sprint. I actually didn't, but it worked out, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully. Well, congratulations, Jackson. You got yourself a UCI win here today at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Let's hear for our Canadian here tonight. We're going to see a lot more of him next week as well.
A great interview. We thank Gabe Lloyd. Trackside. There's a look at some of the crowd. I think that's up in turn number 4.
And boy, what a
possibly.
What a tight race that was, because you had Manderfeld winning with 21 points, Martinez Moroz also with 21 points, followed by Guillemette with 20, and Arango Caraval with 19. So that was as close as you could call it.
Even Jastrab with 16.
Well, and Kinneberg.
Right, hung
was 16.
right in there. Yeah, that was a great run. People enjoying the great, wonderful weather here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center. We do have final race to close out the evening. Boyle comes back on the track with Rodriguez Hacohen, and they're going to race for 3rd and 4th place. But it's great. They're going to get center stage, Gary.
Absolutely. This is kind of like a walkout bout in boxing right now. But in that
two
last
good
lap,
runs. They have 2 good runs.
We talk about how confusing it gets when riders get lapped. 7 riders were lapped, 4 of them twice. So that means that 3 of the riders that were lapped also lapped.
And here they go. There is a look at Boyle is in the black with the red maple leaf. And Rodriguez Hacohen is in the blue going up first.
That was the first time I saw that angle. I could not discern that it was the maple leaf.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a maple leaf, I think.
Yes.
And
It certainly looks like it from that angle, absolutely. But you couldn't see it from the opposite side. From there, I mean, you can't tell. You just see the red stripe and the Spider-Man sleeve, which is really
maybe those are
plaid.
little maple leaves. I'm certainly not into design, and that would not shock anyone.
So Boyle will trail this ride. Rodriguez Hacohen will lead it. Tied 1-1. This is for 3rd place. 1st place already decided. Mandy Marquardt of Allentown won in straight rides over Canadian Sarah Orban.
Good program tonight. A lot of sprint action, but when you're doing Festival of Speed, it can't be all along.
Yeah,
it's not the Festival of Mountain Biking, it's the Festival of Speed.
That's right. And you can see Hacohen Rodriguez is kind of picking up the pace here, going before the start of the bell. Boyle looking to match. Boyle coming high. Rodriguez Hacohen coming out of the lane, trying to control it. Control the shortest distance.
Here they go.
Boyle pushing. Boyle's way too high in that coming out of turn 3. And this will go to Hacohen.
Rodriguez Hacohen is going to win it. She'll finish in 3rd place. And Boyle will finish 4th. Jackie Boyle will finish in 4th place. So a good run by Rodriguez Hacohen. And here's a look at the finish.
You see her coming up, but she's going too high. Boyle is just way too high there, coming out the back straight, getting into the turns, just going too high, and she just kind of loses it right there. And she's not going to match the speed of Nicole Joanne Rodriguez-Hacohen. Congratulations, a great third place ride.
Good run as she coasts around the track, does her warm-up lap. Or cool-down lap.
Cool-down.
I'm saying warm-up lap. Yeah. Third place finisher.
It was just a great night of racing tonight. Just spirited, fun, fast, enjoyable.
A good show put on at Valley Preferred Cycling Center.
As always.
And there's a good look at the crowd. And as our spectators will leave the stadium.
There's one more week of UCI racing here next week. If you want to come out, it's Friday and Saturday nights, both nights. There's also racing Saturday evening this week.
And there's a look at the drawbridge across going to the infield. So that'll do it from the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. For Doug Long, our director, our entire crew, Gary Blockus, my partner, this is Jim Krupka saying, watch us again on SEN.